Look at you in the virtual day room. Look at you. The people all across the world. We got 80 people in the room right now, right? Between me and Hollywood Channel. And they can listen to the sound of your voice, man. And I just want to say, listen, brother, congratulations. You know what I'm saying? On making it back home, man. Making it back in one piece. Making it back, you know, to a life and being able to lead a life. So let me ask you this. What have been some of your biggest obstacles, you know what I'm saying, in the little month that you've been home with readjusting, man? What's been some of the, you know, we happy to be here, but tell us one of your pet peeves about being out here. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of confusing for you.
Well, one of my biggest obstacles, I really haven't had no obstacles, to be honest with you. It's like God been opening up doors for me, man, left and right, man. You know, it's like I don't got a worry in the world, man. I know I'm all right. But one of the small, I guess they say it's one of my biggest obstacles. It's basically one of my only obstacles, but it's been family. You know, when you can, when you in prison, you hear the stories. Oh, you know, such did this, your cousin did that, your uncle did that, your aunt did. You know, you hear the stories, but when you were free, and you get to talk to, it's like, let me put it like this: all the stories that I have heard about my family has come from my mom's point of view. So my view of the reality of the family came from my mother. But since I've been home and I've got to talk to this person, that person, this uncle, that cousin, this blah, blah, boom, boom, now I'm hearing everybody else's side of the stories, you know. And it's been kind of it's been kind of difficult to know how to
navigate
family issues.
Right, navigate through the different issues.
Right, without offending nobody or seeming like I'm trying to tell somebody that I know what they ought to be doing, you know, or trying to give somebody advice, or because you know, when you see things that you like, man, you know, I want, damn, how did this happen, you know, or you know, right. Back in my days when I was growing up, you know, I guess a lot of families was more close, you know, so you talk more, saw each other more. But I guess with the social media area, everybody's on doing this, doing that, and I was like, I met a lot of people talk. I'm like, hey man, how your uncle doing? How you? Oh, I ain't seen my niece since last year. I ain't talked to him in 8, 9, 10. I ain't seen him in 2 years. I'm like, how the hell you ain't seen your brother in 2 years? How you ain't seen your uncle in, how you? And that's how it is out here now, you know. Everybody doing their own thing, you know. And that's been kind of, you know, shocking to me, you know.
Right. So, like you say, shit, they wasn't only going to see you, they wasn't seeing each other. Shit, you wasn't the only one getting visits. Shit, it's a whole bunch of people. It's a whole bunch of people wasn't getting visits. Shit, you wasn't the only one. So, that's one of the struggles that we deal with, man. You know, I'm joking there, but on a serious note, that's one of the struggles with us readjusting back into society. You know, that the audience needs to understand. You know, a lot of these rifts that exist within our family happened when we wasn't here, right? And you know, we don't know how to mend them, or we don't know how to even get between them. We so happy to be home that we want to just share in the love. We want to be able to break the hate, right? But we run into people that have been living their own lives in their own manner, right? And they have came up with this division amongst each other, right? And I'm not just speaking on your family, I'm just speaking in general. When we come home, that we run into that, and that's very troubling for us, man. That's what the brother Black Suede was on here saying. And he said when he gave his interview that he got a call from some of his family members, right, about healing. And you know, I want to speak out to your family, mama, and different people that's listening as an outsider, right? We ain't got that much time, man. I'm not saying we need to be kumbaya, but we ain't got that much time. And it was a time, right, when we was growing up, when we was more tolerable of each other, right? We was a little bit more tolerable, right? We don't have to deal with each other, but we was a little bit more tolerable, man. Let's just kind of, you know, go out the way we came in, man. Let's kind of, you know, push stuff to the side and at least let's start talking to each other, man. And that's my hopes for your family. That's my hopes for my family. Shit, man. I'm telling you that, and I don't talk to my daddy, right? Yeah, so I can't even sit here and act like I'm high and mighty. I haven't talked to my daddy in 4 years. So I need to take that advice too, right? We got to be a little bit more tolerable, right? With not dealing with people, right? But understanding that we all running out of time, man. So that's my take on that, man. I appreciate you saying that, man. And hopefully they hearing us. Hopefully I'm hearing myself when I watch this back. And I give my pops a call, man. It's on you, OG.
So let me ask this, man. So even though you just been out a short period of time, right? What advice would you give anyone coming home or just got home from prison, right? Your secret to staying free and most of all staying positive.
Well, you got to. I believe that that a person has to have self-reflection, man. You know, look at your past experiences. You know what I'm saying, and your past decisions, and see where they got you at, the place that they got you in, and understand that you created that reality. You know what I'm saying, with your way of thinking, and that the only way you're gonna create a new reality for yourself is change your way of thinking. Because the same way that your way of thinking got you in prison and got you the lifestyle that you are in, you know what I'm saying, as a grown man making your own decisions, the same way the new way of thinking is gonna automatically put you in a new situation. You know what I'm saying? So if you really want to change, if you want to do better, be a better man, be a better man for your family, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to look at yourself, man, and a change got to be made.
Right. We coming down to the last two questions, y'all. I know the show normally a little longer than usual, but this real, man. And we ain't on nobody time but God time, right? So things going the way they supposed to go, not the way we want them to go. With that being said, I'm saying that to say this. After I asked this question and Hollywood, he got the last question, we're going to open up the phone lines and we're going to also drop the link for people to come up, man, right? I hear we got a little sister in the wings. She ready to come up and have a great discussion with you, man. So we're going to bring up little sister. Also, we down to the last two questions. I just want to give people a reference because I see my boy K Riz. He asking about the link in the chat, man. A lot of people are being touched by your story. A lot of people, want to tap in with you. So give us this. You did 28 calendars on a non-aggravated sentence. I do not understand it. You know what I'm saying? But I get it, right? Give us one lesson, right? Give us one lesson that you learned. I know you learned many, but give us one that sticks with you today, man. Give us one of them.
All right. I'm going to give it to you, and with hopes that it'll help you understand how I did 28 years too. Okay. All my life, CEO, I'm going to say since I was 10 years old, I always been out of control. I never could control myself. I mean, I knew right from wrong. My grandmother never tried to make me go to church, this, that, all that stuff there. But I was very impulsive, man. If I want it, I'm going to take it, whatever the consequences, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And During my whole 28 years incarceration, it's many nights, bro, I done sat in cells in tears, crying, man. And like, why can't asking myself why I can't control myself? What is wrong with me? I'm not gonna ever get out of prison because I can't stop myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm a damn fool. And I didn't realize, man, but this is one of the biggest lessons I've learned in my life. And after I came back in contact, you know, with my family, man, you know, after not seeing them for 25 years, I was talking to my sister, Jolene, that's living in LA right now. We were just kicking it, just talking about family and this and that. So she started talking about my father. Now my father has been in prison. This is not the guy that my mother's married to, you know what I'm saying? But my biological father, he's been in prison since I was 10 years old. He's been locked up 40 years on a life sentence. And we was discussing him. And my sister was like, have you been writing him? Have you been visiting him? I'm like, nah, I don't fuck with him at all, you know, because, you know, the mistakes and decisions that he made took our whole lives on a whole nother trajectory, you know. We had a bunch of hard times because of the decisions that he made. So when we were discussing him, my sister just out the blue, she said, wasn't you with him that night when he did what he did to get locked up? And I was like, yeah. And I had my other sister, Jennifer, the one that's about to come on, she was always sending me self-help books. And one of the first books that she sent me was called Awakening to Your Life's Purpose by a dude named Eckhart Tolle. And this book was talking about how our past life experience, our childhood traumas go forth and become our adult dramas. And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of their behavior and decision making is a result of childhood trauma that's still being carried with them today. Right. And my sister said that, the light went off in my head. I'm like, that's why I'm fucked up, man. But to give y'all a little background on it, because I want people to know this, man. This is gonna answer your question, why I was the way I was. When I was 10 years old, my father had a relationship with a chick and whatever. I'm not gonna tell his story. Make a long story short, somebody accused him of raping them. And he was arrested. He bonded out of jail. So I came out of my bedroom to use the restroom that night. I was like 10 years old. When I stepped out the room, I saw my father coming out of his room, loading up his 357. So I was like, Daddy, where you going? Like, I'm finna go take care of some business. So I was like, well, let me ride with you. So he's like, okay, grab your jacket because it's kind of cold out there. So I get dressed. We jump in the ride. So we on our way. And so he was like, hey, man, listen. This girl is saying that I raped her. He said, man, I didn't do it. He said, and I'm not going to let nobody lie on me and get away with it. He said, it's hard to beat them kind of cases. He said, so when I do what I'm about to do, I will be going to prison. He said, you know, people going to talk bad about me, say things about me. He said, but I want you to know that you always had a father. He said, I was here, I fed you, I clothed you, and I put a roof over your head. You know, so we ride, you know. So he was like, damn, you ain't gonna try to stop me. Now, I can't stop you from doing nothing. No, you're a grown man, you know. So he was like, so I was like, let me see the gun, you know. So he let me show me how to unload it, open it, blah, blah, blah. So we pulled up at this girl's house, man, that he was messing with. He told me, no, Daddy, be right back. We got out the ride. I saw him snatch the screen door open, kick the door in. I heard some yelling, screaming, gunshot. I saw her uncle come staggering out the house, run around the corner. I heard my dad in there talking, screaming. I heard some banging, like fighting going on. I heard a couple more gunshots. So he came out, jumped in, pulled off. He handed me the gun, told me to empty it out. I rolled the window down, took the empty shells out, threw them out. He pulled up somewhere, told me to stash the gun. I jumped out, threw it in the bushes, jumped back in. We went on home. He called the police, turned himself in, and been locked up ever since. But up until that night, I was a straight A and B student. Some C's here and there because of math. I wasn't never too good at math. But I was on the honor roll, or they wanted to skip me up a grade, wanted to get me in magnet schools for gifted students and all that. But since that night, that ride with my father, I was straight F's, flunking, drinking, smoking, fighting, getting kicked out of school, started getting arrested at 12. And I didn't realize till that point that my sister made that statement that I had been traumatized by that night. And that took me on a whole nother trajectory, man. And I never was the same since, man. But after I finally realized what had happened to me, I was able to become healed from it, man. So I want a lot of people to realize that a lot of times when you can't understand why is this person that way, what's wrong with him, why does he keep making these bad decisions? He must be crazy. You know, a lot of times it's issues, man, that go way back, man, that you never would have imagined. It's still affecting this person to this day, man. So that's I just want to share that with you. That's maybe help you give a better understanding of how I am the way I was.
Man, that was heavy. That was heavy, bro. I'm sitting there listening like, damn, man, that was heavy.